Hi everyone, it's Debbie Mirza, the author of The Covert Passive Aggressive Narcissist. Today I want to talk to you about something really helpful that I learned from my mentor actually, and a tool that I often use in my coaching practice as well as with myself that is really helpful and quite transformative. So with these videos, I want to do a lot of videos on traits and helping educate you on covert narcissism, as well as things you can really do to heal and get your strength back. So my mentor was Martha Beck, a brilliant woman who has written amazing books that are worth checking out. So one thing she taught that I think is really brilliant, I think I've used that word a lot now, is something she refers to as clean pain versus dirty pain. So most of our pain that we feel is from dirty pain that we can control. So clean pain is when you lost someone that you love, when they passed away, you grieve over that. That's clean pain that you need to do. Clean pain when you're coming out of relationships with a covert narcissist. The anger and the grief and all those feelings that come up, that's part of healing, is clean pain. You've got to feel that stuff and let it out. Dirty pain, which is really like 90 to 95% of what makes us unhappy and depleted of our energy, is our own thoughts around the pain. So for instance, let's say you're getting out of a relationship with a covert narcissist, a romantic one, and so you're grieving that, which is clean pain. Dirty pain looks like your thoughts around it. I'm never going to find love. I'm not worthy of love. These beliefs we have, these fears we have, these statements we have, this is the stuff that these thoughts begin and emotionally send us spiraling, right? So that being said, there is a process you can take yourself through that you can go really deep with it, or just like, just a really quick version of it too. So the woman who created this, her name is Byron Katie. Byron is her first name. Katie is her last name. She's an extraordinary woman with a really fascinating story, who's also written a lot of really good books. She came up when she was going through a really unhappy stage in her life. She had that epiphany, like, am I unhappy because of my circumstances, or am I unhappy because of my thoughts? And I don't want to negate how stressful our circumstances are with covert narcissists. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those moments when you're by yourself and your thoughts get a hold of you. Maybe I'm not worth loving. Maybe this is going to happen. Usually stuff that has to do with the past or future, never the present moment. So Byron Katie came up with this thing she calls the work. And she's a really interesting person to look up on YouTube and watch her interviews with people. So what she does is she'll take your thought and run it through 4 questions. For instance, I'm never going to find real love. So you would take that thought and you would ask yourself first, is that true? And maybe you have this solid belief, yeah, it's totally true. The second question is, can I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that's true? It's like, well, no. The third question is, how do you feel in your body, and how do you feel emotionally when you think that thought? So this is like a really meditative point where you think, okay, I'm never going to find real love. How does that feel? It feels discouraging. I feel sad. I notice my stomach tighten. I notice my shoulders droop. You know, it's just kind of scanning your body and noticing where you feel that in your body. Another question you can add that's not part of the 4 is, when was the first time you had this thought? Because what happens with our brain is we have something happen in our life, usually childhood, and a seed is planted. You know, for instance, with the thought, I'm not worthy of love. And so that seed, our brain likes to have evidence for our beliefs. So then you live your whole life collecting subconscious evidence that this is true. You're not worthy of love. Well, this proves it, then that happened, then that happens. So then, over time, you have built this really solid neurotransmitter in your brain that's now, what started with a thought has now become a really solid belief that you'll defend, you know? We all do this. And so it's interesting to ask yourself, when did I first feel this? Then the 4th question is basically what she calls a turnaround. So you take the opposite. Let's go with that first thought. I'm never going to find real love. So the turnaround, the opposite of that, would be, I am going to find real love. And then you come up with 3 evidences that that might be true. So this sounds really simplistic, but it's really powerful because what it's doing, it's helping your brain go, you know, you've looked at something a certain way for a long time, and it plants a new seed that, as you add more evidence, and make sure you give evidence that your brain will accept as truth, then once you do that, you have begun a new neurotransmitter that will become stronger and stronger and stronger in your brain, and that will dictate who comes into your life and how you operate in life and how things work out for you. So this is just a really introductory video on this, and you can go deep with it. I also am still taking coaching clients, so if you're looking for someone to walk you through this healing, I'd love to do that. I'll put a link to my website for that. But I wanted also to give you something that you can do on your own. It's really fascinating to look her up on YouTube and see her in war-torn countries, taking someone who's racked with fear and seeing within an hour them completely transform and feel such utter peace. Because what you realize is, wow, you know, nothing in this moment is bad, in this very moment, you know. So it helps open your eyes to how much our beliefs affect us, and it also helps switch, you know, where we become the observer of our thoughts, which is a really powerful, empowering place to be. So I hope that's helpful. And yeah, I encourage you to research it more if this is something that really draws you or perks your interest. Okay, take really good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.